Oh man, you want beef? You want smoke? We got to smoke, and by we, I mean he. And by he, I mean him. And by him, I mean Nick Saban. Whoa. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't just like some, little smoke here and there. This is major stuff going on. This isn't just some little petty drama where Nick Saban doesn't like Jimbo Fisher or Nick Saban doesn't like Deion Sanders. This is some serious business. Mr. Saban, Nick Saban, Coach Saban, the greatest of all time, whatever you like to call him, he exposed Deion Sanders and Jimbo Fisher, and they're both pissed off. Deion's frustrated. Jimbo Fisher, he's more than that, and we'll talk about that in a second. We just have so much to go over. And what makes all this even more controversial is you got some people who are on Nick Saban's side, and you also get some that aren't. I'd say right now, from everything I've seen, it's 50-50. The reason I have waited as long as I have is because I like to see things develop, and it's just continuing to blow up. I can't wait no more. I gotta speak on it. However, with that being said, there's so much going on, I can't cover it in this video. So if you do want to see the part 2 or just another video about it tonight, let's see if we can get this video to, we haven't done a lot going a while. You know what? Screw it. Let's see how powerful you guys are. If we can get this video to 403 likes in 1 hour, we'll double upload tonight. Pretty hefty like goal, but we rarely do them anymore. So let's see if we can do it. I need to calm down, but I am just so excited and just everything going on. This is what makes college football so great. I hope you guys are as excited to get into this video as I am. As always, we're on the road to 200K, so if you do enjoy the content, just real quick, I'd appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button, leave a like, do all that nice stuff. And now, without further ado, let's get into it. Where do we even begin and where do we even start? I'm going to state this right now. You got to pay close attention because there is so much going on. If you don't pay attention, you're going to get overwhelmed and you're going to get lost. I guess we'll just start off where everything really started to blow up, and that was last night around 9 to 10, depending on where you live. Me, myself, I was heading to the gym, a little late night, lifting session. And I saw what Nick Saban said on Twitter, and I literally looked at it and dropped my mouth. I couldn't believe he said it. He may be the head coach of my favorite team, Alabama. I love Nick Saban. He's a great motivational leader. Overall, you can't say enough good things about him. Despite that, and as much as I do love him, I knew when he said that a lot of people were going to be mad, and a lot of people weren't going to be on his side. He blatantly exposed Jackson State and Deion Sanders and Jimbo Fisher. So last night, Nick Saban did an interview, or he was talking to some people in Birmingham, Alabama. I'm not too sure what the event was, but he was there talking, and I also believe Alabama's basketball coach was there, Nate Oates. And then he started talking about the recruitment and how Alabama finished second behind A&M, and here's what he had to say word for word. I mean, we were second in recruiting last year. A&M was first. A&M bought every player on their team. They made a deal for name, image, and likeness. We didn't buy one player, all right? But I don't know if we're going to be able to sustain that in the future because more and more people are doing it. It's tough. To sum and dumb that down, he said A&M bought all their recruits and Alabama didn't buy a single one. Now, before we go any farther, I do want to make this clear. Alabama has established themselves. These players, I personally don't believe, go to Alabama for NIL deals. A lot of these players go to Alabama because they develop players great and they get them to the NFL really fast. Look at Jameson Williams. I don't want to underestimate how much $1 million is because that's a lot for a college kid, but compared to some of these NFL contracts, it's nothing. It's chump change. Not just in football, but in life, you got to play the long-term game. You don't want to sell out on short-term money and miss out the long-term money. So for Nick Saban to say Alabama didn't buy a single player, I believe him because I don't think they need to. Think about it for real. They've been getting all these #1 recruiting classes ever since 2008 or 2009. It's not like out of nowhere like Texas A&M where they randomly got a top 3 or top 2 class. But, and I have a big but, and Alabama fans, you're not going to like this. Do I believe that Alabama and Nick Saban has never paid a recruit and they've never given them a car? Absolutely not. That's horse crap. We may not be able to prove it, but come on now. Did you guys not think it was fishy? And if you're not a Bama fan, you might not remember this, but there was a time when Eddie Jackson, who's a star in the NFL, Reuben Foster, and all those guys around 2015 and 16, they were getting brand new Camaros. I hope I can find the picture somewhere, but within a week, there was like 5 or 6 guys on the defensive side of the ball that got brand new cars. And I'm not talking about $10,000 cars. I'm talking about 30, 40, and 50,000. Did Nick Saban directly give them the car? Is he directly paying him? No, he has guys that does it for him. I'm going to assume it's boosters. They probably work out a contract with the family where they're going to pay it back in the NFL, but still, that's illegal. If you're an Alabama fan, all I'm asking is don't be naive about this situation. You know there's been at least a couple scenarios here and there where a recruit of yours has gotten a car or some money. Wake up and smell the roses. It's not just Alabama. Every school in the country in college football is illegally recruiting. You just couldn't prove it. The real game is trying to see who can hide it the best. And that's why I'm a fan of the NIL, because it's been going on behind the scenes, so we might as well make it legal. Anyways, moving on to his next quote and what he said that really got everybody out of their seats and started everything was what he said about Deion Sanders in Jackson State. Nick Saban said, heck, read about it in the paper. I mean, Jackson State paid a guy $1 million last year, and that was a really good D1 player to come to the school. It was in the paper, and they bragged about it. Nobody did anything about it. It is key to mention and worth throwing in there that Nick Saban didn't single out a player. He didn't name drop. But come on now, we all know who he's referring and talking about. It's Travis Hunter, aka the former #1 recruit in the country. Now, if you don't know who Travis Hunter is, he was the #1 recruit. That's all you need to know. He's phenomenal. He's the guy who shocked everybody on signing day. He was committed to Florida State for I think 2 years. Then out of nowhere, he winds up signing with Jackson State. It was also reported at the time that he was going to make easily over $2 to $3 million there. And then late last night, around 11:08 p.m. Central Time, so my time zone, Coach Deion Sanders responded to it. He tweeted out, "You best believe I'll address that lie in all caps that Coach Saban in all caps told tomorrow. I was awakened by my son and he sent me the article stating that we paid Travis Hunter $1 million to pay at Jackson State. We as a people don't have to pay our people to play with our people." And I believe he's referring to black people, if I'm not mistaken. You know what makes that even more interesting? I'm sure if you've been watching the channel and videos, you know who this guy is. Ajayi Hall, only a couple hours ago, replied under that tweet and said, "Yeah, prime turn up." Of all the people in the world to be commenting on any matter whatsoever, Ajayi Hall, you're the last, my boy. I'm not going to get into that topic. You know how I feel about it. Let's keep it moving. This is just a huge domino effect because now the Travis Hunter and Deion Sanders situation is being brought up again. And what I'm referring to is people are talking about whether Jackson State paid him or they didn't. Here's what somebody replied to Deion Sanders. "LOL, you're saying he wasn't paid," referring to Travis Hunter. "There is absolutely zero other reason a 5-star prospect would attend a Tier 2 program like Jackson State while having offers from FBS powerhouses. What other highly ranked recruit like this has ever picked an FCS school over FBS?" Under that, somebody replied to it, and I really like this. He said he chose to go to Jackson State to play with a coach that looks like him and is the greatest personality and DB the NFL has ever seen. Stop speculating. The Travis Hunter thing is rather interesting, and I don't think it's as complicated as some people are trying to make it out to seem. Of course, Jackson State can't directly pay him, but the rumors going on, and these have been going on the past 4 to 5, 6 months, is that boosters or somebody else, they're going to pay him. Like I said earlier, it was speculated he's going to make between $2 to $3 million. But that doesn't mean that's coming from Deion Sanders or Jackson State. That could be just NIL money that he's earning himself. For example, if Nike wants to do a sponsorship with them and pay him $2 million, that's completely legal. There's nothing illegal about companies wanting to sponsor you. Where it's illegal is if boosters pay you. The most likely scenario is that Deion Sanders, he has close connections with people that would offer $2 to $3 million sponsorships. And those said people said, "Hey Deion, if you can get Travis Hunter to go to Jackson State, we'll pay him the money." Whoa, hold on before you type in the comment section. I don't think that was the sole reason why he decided to go there. Travis Hunter is already so good, he's so established, he's on a large media scale. It didn't matter what college he would have went to. He's still going to be out there and people are going to know his name. It's not like he's a 3 or 4-star recruit that nobody knows about. With all these NFL scouts already knowing who he is, he just thought to himself, hey, might as well just go to a school where the coach, he played my same position. I also believe that Deion Sanders, he's a player's coach, and all the players, they love being around him. Don't get me wrong, the players love Nick Saban, but Deion Sanders, you can relate to him a little more because he was in the NFL, he was really good, and he's younger. And then last but not least, maybe Travis Hunter wants to be a trendsetter. Maybe he's trying to start something. For the people thinking that this Travis Hunter kid only went to Jackson State for money, I think you're sadly mistaken. A lot of these kids out there, especially defensive backs, they look up to primetime. I wanted to elaborate on that situation because I think a lot of people are misunderstood. Getting back on track, Deion Sanders, he kept going at Saban. Late last night, he tweeted out, "Stay tuned." In that tweet, it was a short video, and all it said was, "I will be addressing the lies that were told by Coach Saban soon." It gets better. Early this morning at 8:53 a.m. to be exact, Travis Hunter said, "I got a meal, but my mom's still staying in a 3-bedroom house with 5 kids." That one's interesting. So now we got Travis Hunter speaking in on the matter in the situation. Deion Sanders subtweeted that and said, "I don't even make $1 million, LOL," and then like 400 laughy face emojis. Apparently, according to Travis Hunter, he hasn't been getting any of that money. Like I said, I believe it both ways. I could believe that Hunter went there for a couple $1,000,000, but I could also believe that he went there just because he likes Deion Sanders and he wants to be a part of the culture. I think you're really being naive saying, "Oh, why in the crap would a 5-star recruit go to such a terrible program?" I just really think you're closed-minded. For my athletes out there, or for my fellow athletes, you have to understand, a lot of these people that make stupid remarks and comment on these situations, they've never played a single sport a day in their life. They don't understand how it works. Fortunately enough for you guys, I do, and I think you'll be able to relate to this. As a former athlete myself, and like I said, I know a bunch of you watching, you're playing sports right now. When I'm deciding what school I want to play for, whether it's middle school, high school, college, anything like that, what do I think of, or what do you think of as an athlete? I don't really care if they have talent or not. That's not a big deal to me. I want to play for the best coach. I want to go to a school with a good coach and a good coaching staff that's going to make my game better. That's how a lot of these athletes think. If you don't believe me, look at Caleb Williams and what happened with Lincoln Riley. I hate to bring it up, but it's such a great example for this situation. I said it last year, and I'll continue to say it. I knew Caleb Williams was going to leave Oklahoma as soon as Lincoln Riley did. Why in the world would a kid from Washington, D.C. go all the way to Oklahoma? I can tell you one thing, it's not for the views. There's only one reason Caleb Williams even decided to sign with Oklahoma, and his name is Lincoln Riley. If you don't believe me, why do you think he left Oklahoma as soon as Lincoln Riley did? He wants to follow the coach because he likes the coach, and that's what a lot of these athletes, they pick their decisions on. Matt, what are you talking about? That don't make sense. I meant to say that's how they decide to make their decisions. The NFL is a little different because the coach, it does matter, but not quite as much as high school or college. I hate to break the bad news to all these Bama fans out there, but all these athletes, all these 4- and 5-star recruits, they're not going to Alabama for the tradition or whatever. They don't care about any of that. Some of them aren't even old enough to remember the tradition. All of these stud and star athletes, they're going to Alabama because of Nick Saban. Nick Saban could leave Alabama today and go be the head coach of Oregon State, and a bunch of guys would follow him. That's what I want some people to realize with this Travis Hunter situation. Travis Hunter didn't go to Jackson State because it's Jackson State. I believe he went there because of the coach, and that's all I'm going to say about it. I saw this tweet and I was like, dang, that's actually right. Somebody said, "So no more Aflac commercials?" with a question mark. I completely forgot about that situation, but Saban and Deion, they're a part of Aflac and they've done commercials together. That's why to me, I find it really odd and almost like a low blow and shot from Saban for calling out Sanders. I thought they were seemingly close. I don't think they were best friends, but if you're doing a commercial with a guy, you gotta at least have a decent relationship, right? Very odd situation. I want to put this into a different perspective so some Bama fans may be able to look at it from a different perspective. Let's say the roles were reversed and Deion Sanders said what Nick Saban said. Hear me out. Think about the outrage that people would be having right now. Imagine if Deion Sanders called out the greatest of all time, Nick Saban, and said he was paying for his recruits. The world would be on fire. I mean, it's on fire right now, but I think if Deion said it, it'd be blowing up. It's not a debate. Saban's the greatest of all time. He's established himself. So he has more of a leash and he has more of a leeway. He can say controversial things and kind of get away with it because so many people respect him and what he's done. I just really wonder what would have happened if Deion would have been the one calling out Jimbo Fisher and Nick Saban. You would have had people asking for him to be fired, and I believe that 100%. They would have been saying stuff like, "Oh, how he dare disrespect Nick Saban and Jimbo Fisher. Get him out of here." But I guess it's okay for Saban to disrespect Deion, right? The Jimbo Fisher one's not really disrespect. They've been going at each other's necks for the past year or two. I guess since we brought it up, we might as well end this video off with the best part, and that is Texas A&M. Saban stated that Texas A&M bought every single one of their players with the NIL. I'm not really on Saban's side with the Deion thing, I'm more on Deion's side, But when it comes to Jimbo, I think a lot of people are taking Jimbo's side, but I'm on Saban's. Before you go crazy in the comments, hear me out, hear me out. You know me, I don't like to just say random stuff without backing it up, or try to back it up at least with some evidence and facts. I can't take credit for this, but I knew it was along those lines. Somebody tweeted out this and it really opened my eyes. From 2018 through 2021, Texas A&M only signed 5 5-star recruits, only 5 in a 3 to 4 year span. NIL was introduced and they signed 7 5-stars in 2022. Nick Saban isn't complaining, he's just calling a spade, and that's totally fine. Okay, we got a little interesting debate on our hands. I already know some A&M fans are going to say, well, that doesn't count because we've just started getting good and now players are just starting to want to go there. For the A&M fans trying to make that argument, that's stupid because you go 8-4 every single season except for that one year where you was 11-1 or something like that. Let's cut the crap, A&M fans. You're not a powerhouse. You're none of that. You're an average team. You go 8-4, 9-3. So for all the A&M fans trying to say that, no, these players want to come there for what we're building, just stop it. You're not building nothing. I'm not a Jimbo believer, and I never will. He's going to have to win a championship before I really believe in him. Heck, he's going to have to win an SEC championship before I believe him. Or heck, has he even made an SEC championship game? I don't think so. I'm not a Jimbo hater. He just hasn't done anything. A&M's paying him all this money. He's getting big bucks, and he hasn't done a single thing with it. Alabama Nick Saban has creamrolled, and I mean creamrolled, steamrolled over at A&M the past 8 to 9 years. Except for that 1 year with Johnny Manziel and most recently last year, the games haven't even been close. And then last year, what makes it worse, yeah, I'll give you credit. You upset Alabama, huge win. You did it with a backup quarterback, but then after, you wet the bed. You lose a couple more games down the stretch and everybody looks at it and goes, oh, I guess they weren't really great. They just had a good game. I read that tweet off because I want to give you a different perspective and it may open your eyes. Let's say, for example, me and you, we live in the same neighborhood and we see this pretty girl. But then word gets around and apparently in the last year, she slept with 50 dudes. I hear the rumors, you hear the rumors, everybody hears it, and it's a cold hard fact and it's been proven. And then one day you come over to my house and we're talking about this said girl that slept with 50 different men, and I look at you and say, yeah, man, that girl, she's kind of trashy. My question to you guys is, me calling her trashy, is that throwing shots? Is that disrespect? Or is it facts? I mean, if a girl sleeps with 50 different men in a year, she's trashy. It's not me bashing her. I'm just telling you what's happening. That's currently what's going on with Nick Saban and what he's saying. Like this tweet said, he isn't complaining, he's just calling a spade a spade. He's calling it how he sees it, and he's calling it how it is. There's no way, there's not a single way you can sit up here, look me in my eyes, and say, yeah, there's nothing fishy about A&M getting 7 5-star recruits in 1 year when they only got 5 in 3 to 4 years. I'm not saying you got to believe that A&M is cheating and paying all these guys, but you at least have to admit the fact that there's something fishy going on. And once again, like I said, nobody cares about Alabama's tradition. None of these players care about A&M's tradition either. I've always hated when fans try to bring up, oh, we have great tradition. We've won a bunch of championships. So that doesn't matter to the new recruits. Has all the championships Alabama won gonna make this player more money in the NFL? No. I can almost guarantee you the last thing on all these players' minds are tradition. Or would it be is tradition? I don't know, you get what I'm trying to say. I'm very curious. Whose side are you on? Let me know in the comment section. I guess I'll tell you how I stand on it right now, and this could change. I'm not really on any side. I'm just the messenger right now. But here's what I will say. When I saw the things that Nick Saban said, I dropped my mouth. I was shocked. I am utterly shocked that he said those things to the public. I can't believe it. Yeah, I think that's a good way to word it. I'm just shocked. There's some things you say and then there's some things you don't say. Let's leave it at that for now. But last but not least, the new and updated news is that Jimbo Fisher has spoke on it and he said, quote unquote, Nick Saban called him earlier today and he said, I didn't take the call. We're done. He's the greatest ever, question mark. When you have all the advantages, it's easy. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about Jimbo Fisher and Nick Saban tonight because as when I'm making this video, they're throwing shots back and forth right now as we speak. If you want to see that video, get this one to 400 likes in 1 hour and we'll drop it. Let me know if that's on below. Peace off.